Alright. I've come back. Let's see what looks like is going on over here with the players.
Hey, Bub.
Hold on.
Bub.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Paul Thomas Anderson?
That's a male's name.
Thank you.
Damn it.
He's got this expectation that the guy who directed Boogie Nights is some fucking cult famous director.
Nope, not quite. Sorry. Didn't mean to let you down, but I let you down.
Let you down hard.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. So, we're back. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into our roleplay at Cauldron. Sound fair?
Cool.
Sounds awesome.
Well, you're stuck with it anyway. Deal with it, nerd. Cauldron. Present day.
Yeah. Getting back into town.
Alright, I step into my Chevy.
I'll take the horses that me and Jacob have gotten and return them to their owners.
Okay.
And I'll basically hang with the group, seeing as our first step is going to be towards Jenya's.
I'm trying to find a track. I can't seem to find a town. There we go. See if that works. Hopefully that's not bad.
But on stepping back into Cauldron, the hood, of course, comes right back up.
Okay. You guys will have noticed that it looks as if Jacob is maybe not so proud of his heritage, or maybe he's a bit worried. Klaus, it's not unlike you to kind of like pick or poke fun, but at the same time, he is not estranged to the idea of speaking outward. So to see him like this is, it's not his element. He's not comfortable. Deia, Sunn, it's entirely up to you and how you handle this, but Deia, that feeling, that seeping evil from his character, it hasn't stipend. It's not changed by any means. It's still the same feeling. And Sunn, you probably would note this as well about him being aloof at the moment.
This is Sunn's first time to Cauldron.
Okay.
For like the first time since they fought the demon, you'd see like that kind of like worry and like sorrow that he's had kind of fade away as he's like kind of scanning the city with his journal in hand, just kind of like taking note. Yeah, taking note of things, and like it's almost kind of, like that childlike wonder look.
Right.
Kind of like you almost see that for like a glimmer of a moment.
They built it in a volcano.
Yeah, and he's just like, what? There's the lower tier, the middle tier, and he's just taking note of like, and the multiple entrances kind of thing. He's just kind of writing it all down and just kind of.
As Ulhime comes back, he'll walk up over to Jacob again. My friend, I've told you before, if you're ashamed of yourself, then people are going to share that resentment as well. You need to be okay with not having to disguise yourself all the time.
Look, I know you keep telling me that I should go ahead and be loud and proud with it, but come on. The chick went ahead and drew down. I've already had to go ahead and deal with getting out of jail once. I'm used to this.
You shouldn't have to be, my friend. No one should have to be. And if anyone tries to give you trouble, and he kind of like takes his hand and like hits it against his shield, you have me and Helm to guard you from that trouble.
I know that big guy. And he'll kind of just like pop him on the pauldron briefly with a fist.
Sure.
But no, it's all right. Just I'm trying to keep everyone comfortable.
I understand, but at the same time, I feel I bear your burden heavier than you do sometimes, and it would be nice to have it taken away.
Klaus, Deia's son, can I get perceptions from you, please?
I mean, you can try.
I'm gonna try.
I'm not gonna roll it really high though.
So Sunn gives me a 20,
I gave you 11.
11 from Deia.
18.
18 from Klaus. Okay, something's wrong with...
Give me like 3 seconds.
Sure.
1,
Don't be that guy.
He's always that guy.
4,
No, I'm that guy. Usually.
6. Right? That's how that. Yeah, that's how that goes.
Okay. Klaus and Sunn.
Mm-hmm.
People talk. Regulars talk. They aren't afraid of rumor mongering, particularly in town when where they feel the safest. Seeing Klaus back in town, some of them kind of throw that glance of, or the
Would
flurry.
they recognize him?
Oh, that's actually a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't think they'll recognize
hold on.
you because none of us are actually the flurry.
Hold the phone. On that note, I need to make a save or two.
Oh boy. Yeah, like none of us have infamy towards our characters except Klaus. But Klaus is in a different body.
I mean, it also depends though, because I mean, Servar spellmissing was kind of integral to the beginnings of Cauldron. Not so much as Red Gorge, but to a degree. I mean,
I think that it'd be a bit like Jakob. All he sees is an old fart.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look at it like they might know the history,
Ulhime,
but these people are too busy
Yes.
give me a perception as well.
trying to like live their life to like study history. Kind of a dead thing, except for like the few people who'd be like, "Whoa,
It'll be
that's
interesting.
That's fucking Spirit Bar Spellmason, dude." It's
It'll
like,
be
who?
interesting if he mentions that he's in that body. Jacob will be super invested.
Yeah, but until then, it's just an old dude. He shits in his diapers the same way.
Nine.
Spellmason
So
does.
Klaus and Sunn, particularly Sunn, you're going to glean the most information here. Klaus, you overhear some of the people talking, specifically about Ulhime when you guys re-enter. He is known as the only friend in town to the demon, as he's been referred to. Now, you know what it's like to be outside of your own body and to have people show this kind of fear and frustration to you, particularly Klaus. You were in the body of a half-giant, and you almost killed a woman for it. That didn't go super well. That being said, this prejudice, particularly in the direction of both Jakob and Ulhime, is very clear. People tend to kind of stray their path, they stay away, but then you kind of catch people looking at you. You see, particularly an older set of people that are exiting one of the establishments kind of look at you with sort of a wry glare. You know, their brows furrow, you can see the wrinkle lines in their forehead kind of clench up, and you see their lips move, but you don't hear them. Sunn, you see this as well, but you hear the older gentleman stifle out, "Spellmason."
He
turns and he seems to begin speaking, like in hushed whispers, to what looks to be his wife. And then she looks over at him and she begins nodding. And a younger couple hears and they cover their mouth. Hear, "Oh, my stars! No, I cannot, no!" And then the rumor begins. It begins flooding through the streets of Cauldron like a plague.
Sunn will make note of it in his journal because he's still writing things down as he's like walking. He's gonna make specific note of that, and while he does, he's gonna try to hurry the group along, in a sense. Try and pick up the pace without alerting.
All of you will notice that the group, as fast as you move, you're beginning to build up a bit of an entourage. There is a series of people sort of walking in your wake at this point. They're moving forward with trepidation. Ulhime, you get this sense, you get this sensation that the people of Cauldron are beginning to file around, and they're moving behind you.
Jacob, you didn't set any fires again before we left, did you?
That'd be rather hard since you were with me the entire way, and we didn't even get drunk.
Duly noted. Then why do we have a crowd behind us?
They know his body.
Yeah, Jacob's kind of glance back over his shoulder and just duck his head further, pulling at the tip of his cowl. Shit, they must have saw me before I got in town.
So, Sunn overhears them, right? Or
Yeah,
do I have to
you guys are, you're in a group, and even though they're hushed, you're still in a group.
Sunn's gonna kind of say over his shoulder, "They're not looking at you." And he's gonna like lift his head up, and he's gonna start looking at Klaus.
What about him?
That body isn't quite that normal, to say the least. But we should hurry up and get out of sight, at least for now.
I don't understand. And he kind of hurries to walk a little bit. What do you mean? Can you explain to us?
Children are beginning to run up to the group at this point. And they're sort of like running and weaving throughout the group. Some of them are purposefully touching Klaus. They're like grabbing at his fingers. They're touching the staff. They're running their hands across his back.
You're getting touched, Will.
Just hope he doesn't turn into a dragon.
Is this old fart famous or something?
And
Yes, can you explain? This is getting very uncomfortable, to say the least.
have you heard of Spellmason?
Do you want to be more specific to that?
Sorobar Spellmason. The Spellmason.
Sorobar Spellmason!
Deia mutters a name, and you yell it out loud as it sends home, Sorobar Spellmason! And you hear the children kind of erupt, and they begin screaming and running away, and
Oh, god damn it.
the blacksmiths stop smithing, the cobblers stop cobbling, the bakers look onward. Like, the people are popping out. You know,
And in that dead silence that occurs, Jacob just looks back and goes, "Bullshit!"
Breaking the silence is Jacob with a bullshit.
He shakes. You see Ulhime grab Jacob by the forearm and shake him. That's Sorobar Spellmason!
God damn it.
I'm just gonna turn and keep walking the direction we were walking.
Yeah, Klaus
And just kind of leave them all
stops.
behind.
And at this point,
he's on a
Jacob
mission.
starts pulling Ulhime along. No, that can't be. He's dead. He is really dead. Like,
Wait.
so
The report did say that boy Klaus had the ability to steal bodies. Or change into them, so it could be one of the two.
so he popped into some old fart. He can't pop into a corpse.
That old fart friend is the greatest wizard that Cauldron has ever seen. Even I know of him, and I don't study history.
Well, I do. And he's dead. His body was lost.
Well, clearly not. He is standing right before us right now.
Then why is he going by the name Klaus? He
I
doesn't
don't
look
know.
particularly impressive to me.
If you, such a historian, would know anything about him, he founded this city.
I know. Which means he's gotta be dead. How long do you think wizards live?
No, that is not true. That cannot be the case. We have seen it in books before. There is rituals and other arcane workings. Was it lichdom is what they called it. He could be a lich.
Yeah,
Okay, he doesn't smell anything like a lich, for one. And for two, he died casting some spell.
But they said they never recovered a body. What if that's the body?
Because it was disintegrated.
They didn't say disintegrated. They said it was lost to the ages. That is a very different translation, even in Dwarven.
Would I
We're
still
already-
fear them at this point?
No, we should.
No, I'm assuming
if we
that
kept-
Sunn and Deia and Klaus are
We
actually
kept
like
walking.
20 feet ahead of them because you guys
Yeah.
specifically said we're going to pick up pace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no,
we. At this point,
Okay.
we're just walking, and they're just.
Yeah, Ulhime and Jakob are still like nearby to Klaus, but like 5 feet ahead, and just kind of glancing back and having this little argument between them in loud whispers. Like, just Klaus can hear everything, but they're doing that stage whisper.
Oh my God! Can you believe that that's him?
What if we test it?
Just how do you plan to go ahead and test it?
Could throw a brick at him.
One of the tomes said that he had the ability to discern and meld fate to his will. Maybe if we throw a rock at him, he'll deflect it. But
Ulhime,
Not-
you
not-
tell me not to throw rocks at old men, not the other way around.
okay. What if we?
This is
Let me-
making me real uncomfortable that I'm being the sensible one.
Okay. You're right. I'm sorry.
Listen, let's just shit this crowd. Try and break up the crowd. Let's go ahead and get to the church. Then we can ask him about it, okay?
How do you want me to break up? How do you want me to break up the crowd?
I don't know. You're the guard.
Hold on. I got it. We'll play good guard, bad guard, or in this case, I don't like being unfriendly to these people. They are kind to us.
Fine. You play good, and he just like whips back his cloak and looks around. Is there a fucking problem?
Oh.
A few of them will kind of look on and be like, "Boo!" Like they're taken aback. It's true. Look at him. He's a devil man. I knew it. I knew that Ulhime travelled with the devil mans. Look at him. Where'd you come from? From the hills? From the abyss?
Ulhime puts his hand up. If you do not want to be fined, I suggest you go back to what you were doing.
Oh, piss off! You keeping the worst kind of company. It's the reason right here why we can have good things happen in Cauldron. It's because of this thing right here. You know what? Let's make Cauldron great again. I see you over there. I see you. You're the kind of person that wants to take all of our swords away, isn't it? You're the one. You're the one.
Your blasphemy will end you at night in the stockades.
Suddenly, the entire
puts his hand
taxation
up and he's
plot
gonna
arc
walk
makes
off.
sense.
Yeah, at this point, Jacob's gonna look at Klaus, point at him. Quick, get going!
Taxation is theft.
You see some of them kind of like sparse off to do their own thing, but then a couple of them maintain their stoicism, and they just keep moving through. Like they're not breaking any laws, so they're not worried about you. Especially like a guy that quote unquote works for the guard and a guy with horns.
Leads back into him. It's not working.
Well, what, you want me to go ahead and start shooting fireworks in the air or something?
No, that's what got you a night in the stockades last time.
No, setting something on fire got me put in the stocks.
Bub, how far are
the
we
same
away from the
thing.
church?
You're not far. You're not far from the church.
Look, we'll maintain pace with them. If anyone tries anything, I don't know, funny, I mean, no one's really doing anything at this point.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And he's just gonna pull his hood back over and kind of look back at Klaus. Are you coming or what?
I don't know what you're looking back at to begin with, because I'm fucking
They
gone.
kept walking. You look back and you say that without even realizing that the rest of the group has stepped away. They're not with you.
We'll pick up pace and try to catch back up with them.
Are you coming or not? Oh, fuck, they're gone.
Oh shit, this is my crowd. Never mind. Hustle, come on. Move those little legs.
The legs are moving so fast, but he's not getting very far.
It's like he's
I
running
thought
on
you
the
guys
carpet.
could sprint.
Okay, you eventually catch up. It's sort of like you're in wind sprint mode, And Jacob's just kind of like in this light jog. It's like when you're at a crosswalk and you see the guy that's crossing in front of the cars, and he's like, "Oh, hold on," and he moves his
"Whoa, I
arms,
gotta-"
which makes you think
Yeah.
he's going faster, but he's not.
Same
He's just
speed,
walking.
yeah.
Yeah. You eventually catch up to them. You overhear them speaking about going to the Church of St. Cuthbert.
If the friends are indeed there, we will be able to make the last rites for this paladin Horum. But we will have to relay the information about Tercion and what has happened of him. And
Well, considering that considering that his brother's in town already, I'm fairly certain the news has gotten ahead of us. But regardless, yeah, it would be nice to go ahead and see Jenya. At least she ain't testing like the rest of these people.
As you guys are
Sure
making
not.
your way in the direction of St. Cuthbert's, you know that it's not too far from the guardhouse, and there is a flash of red light that bursts over the homes of many of the citizens of Cauldron. You can hear mutters of cries and screams coming from the direction of the guardhouse.
Ulhime will take off running.
Okay.
Yeah. Klaus is gonna follow.
Jacob, what's this look like for you?
Yeah, he's got to go ahead and back his butt up. I mean, at first he starts to turn to go ahead and just ask if the other's all right, but seeing that old man Klaus is kind of hustling, he's just gonna be like, "Okay, that works," and just jog along, cutting through the crowd, sidestepping.
Deia, Sunn, how about you?
They're gonna. I
Okay.
can't say there. Sunn will follow.
No, it's a.
All right. Sure. As soon as you guys meet with the growing crowd, there is a surprising amount of aggression and heat that's rising from this front area of the guardhouse, from the front opening. You'll see that there is a few people, to say the least, that have circled around what looks to be Jerrod Skellering holding onto the body of Tercion Skellering. Slung over his back is a backpack, and netted alongside of it is a tarred corpse, or part of a tarred corpse. In their company is a 12-foot-tall fire giant smith.
Whoa,
Casually.
shit.
Immediately seeing the aggression of the crowd around them, I'll join in the guards. And are they trying to push their way into them, or is it just like
The guards are sort of joining the ranks at this point, but they're using their halberds to kind of hold them back, but they're also confused and watching on at this point when you see the Blue Duke exit the guardhouse. As he exits the guardhouse, shortly behind him, traditional... No, not Tercival. No, Tercival was left behind.
Yeah.
In traditional sense is none other than Kiana Green. Kiana, joining up with you, she seems confused. Not particularly joining up with you, but stepping out with the Blue Duke. Tensions are high. What do you guys do?
I mean, seeing the Blue Duke step out, does it kind of calm everyone else, or does...
It does not.
That would probably only make it worse.
Kiana
Alright, well-
erupts from the room, and she says, "What's the meaning of this?" And then she sees the body of Tercion, one of her best friends, the best guard captain that this town has ever seen, and one of her ex-lovers. And she is caught. Her breath is taken back from her, her weapon falls to the ground, and she covers her mouth. She begins to shake her head. No. No, no. And then she sees Jerrod holding on to the body of Tercion. Her hands begin to lower to her side, but not first without clenching. As they clench at her sides, she strides up, and with her right hand, she slumps it under the back of Tercion. Remember, She is equally as strong, if not stronger at this point, than Deia, also very broad-shouldered. Jerrod, you know her to be a very capable woman. And with her left hand, she just slaps the shit out of you. Just blah! Just catches you right in the face. It kind of
Poor
sends Jerrod, like, kind of scuttling back briefly, and he catches his face. And you hear Jerrod say, well, I probably deserve that. But that's not why I'm here. Kiana says, exactly why are you here, Jerrod Skellerang? She says that with a tune that's very unassuming. If that is exactly who you say that you are. You know, since you've arrived, nothing has gone right in this town. Some of the best people we know have died. And here you are, standing, conveniently. Let me guess, you've come to claim the position of guard captain since you are the last standing Skellerang. Am I wrong? No, you're not wrong. And I'm sure that I'm going to catch a lot of flack for it. But that's not the point. I have a duty, and I intend to stay my way. Now, you can stand in my way, or you can get behind me and support me in the way that I will need you to in this town. Because Cauldron needs someone with a firm grasp and a firm understanding of what's happening here. My brother may have been a good man, and he died that way. But I will right the wrongs, and I will correct everything that you think that I've done. Kiana just shakes her head. The Blue Duke sidles up next to her.
What right? What right do you have? Who do you think you are? I could acquire this town.
He kind of muddles through his maw. Deia, you see this figure known as the Blue Duke. I mean, he literally has a nickname. It's not often that you acquire a nickname in this time unless it's warranted. When you peer through the butt end of your monocle, you see a lie. Your right eye sees this hooded half-orc, but your left eye sees something different. Your left eye sees an ogre, dressed very similarly, but there is some kind of facade that reigns over the top of him in the arcane spectrum. And you're not sure if it's inherently evil or not, but this person is not all that he's put him off to be. At least what he's put himself off to be. He sounds very different than any other half-orc that you've encountered. There's a much deeper tone to this figure, and his voice carries quite a bit further. While all of the others seem to be very, like, raspy and scratchy. Like they're the singer of some blues band. This one, there's actually, like, some wild depth to it. Like you're speaking to a giant. And he carries himself like so. Yet he has this normal, natural vision of a half-orc. It's very odd to say the least. What do you do,
I'm gonna watch over him, not make any movements, but just kind of like stare at him, get a good idea of what he looks like, and this aura that surrounds him, so that I could try to explain it later because I don't fully understand what it is.
Sure. Let me give you a better description. Peering over his figure, he has the traditional distended jaw that you think you would see in a half-orc, but his entire cranium is significantly larger. On top of that, you note that his hood doesn't go much further than mine would on my head right now, but it's not because he hasn't pulled it forward, but he actually has two enormous horns that come up off of the front of his head. His neck muscles are bulbous. It doesn't even look like he even has a neck. It's just like shoulder like all the way up. It's the perfect pyramid to a shoulder. There's no shape to it.
He hasn't missed gym day for a while.
No, neck day is strong in his family. He's quite a bit taller, actually. Where he looks to be about 7 feet, he's actually closer to about 10 feet. You note that he stands near, but not actually next to anyone else in town. His weight is crushing. He's comparable in size to Dukabras. Jerrod, being who Jerrod is, he passes documentation. Well, I'm not the guy to typically do this, but I feel like this is kind of that point. I have the documentation that states that I can do this. I acquired it in Red Gorge, the sister city to Cauldron, also founded by Surabar Spellmason and my family. Unless you'd like a formal challenge, and by all accounts, you can't quite do that, Blue Duke, because you're not of the founding families. Now, if Alec Turcival was around, he could, or one of the other founding families, but by all rights, this position is mine. You can't say or do anything about it. Now, like I said, you can back me, support my cause, and help me champion the city to what I believe it can be. Or you can be a threat that falls to the end of my blade. But for now, I intend to bury my brother. Do you have any problems with this? Kiana, who is crouched to the ground at this point, she wipes tears from her eyes. You hear no retort from her. The Blue Duke shifts his jaw, mulling it over. You just get a from him. That's really it. There's no retort. Oh, and he's with me. He's good people. I promise. That's in typical Jerrod fashion. He just gives him a thumbs up.
I'll make my way over to Jerrod. If you wish to have flash rites performed on your brother, I can assist with that, if you wish.
Well, thank you. We were born in these walls, and as such, he deserves at least that much.
Very well. And I noticed that there is another severed individual. Am I to take it that is Horum?
Right, yes, that's... Yes. I wish I could have brought you back more, but this is all that remains.
You did what was right by you. And
one of the damn finest men I've ever had the pleasure of working with. What do you need with him again? And who the hell are you?
Sorry for the lack of introduction. My name is Ulhime, Shieldbearer. I am a clergyman, traveling clergyman that tends to help out every once in a while. I was a friend of your brother's, and we actually came to deliver that news to you since I had gotten word from your friends over there. And he kind of nods his way back over to Klaus in the group that he had passed in combat.
Yeah, Jacob's too busy looking at the flaming giant, just like, you're a big fucker, aren't you?
Alright. Well, if you're with the guard, and you are approved by my brother, then you're good with me.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'll take Horum. And then he kind of just nods over there. And if you wish to follow me to St. Cuthbert's, we can begin the burial rites over there.
Fine by me.
Very well. And Ulhime will walk over to the corpse of Horum, removing the sword, and then kind of using his own medical kit, kind of wrapping the remainings of Horum, just so there's more form to it, and he'll pick him up, and he'll start making his way to St. Cuthbert's.
Okay.
Seeing Ulhime coming along, the smartassery tends to fall off Jacob. Like a mask, he just rests a hand on the scabbard of his sword, tips it to a very businesslike fashion, and waits for him to pass before backstepping and covering the rear guard.
All right.
As they're starting to head off towards the church, I'd turn to them and say, I'll catch up with you in just a moment. I need to talk to somebody first.
Okay. With that, I think we should probably give Deia the opportunity to do her stand-aside stuff. Sunn, did you have anything that you wanted to try to do as well?
Not really something to do. The only thing I would have wanted to mention is, well, because this whole public display is going on, Sunn probably would have pulled his hat down a bit, and he'd be kind of sitting there, kind of like rubbing his fingers over the fireball necklace as like a nervous habit kind of thing, and just kind of sitting there and watching them.
Okay, all right.
Hell of a nervous habit to have.
Yeah, no, that's a dangerous one for sure.
Well, it's like, like when you're looking for something to do with your hands.
Sure.
It's just he's just like,
just grab this thing that could kill everyone around me.
I mean,
just don't drop it.
It's not the strong fireball; it's the weak one.
Even that case, like if you were to stutter or something were to cause like a feared motion from you and you were to clinch up and remove it, the moment that you remove it, it becomes active. The moment that it hits dirt, it ruptures. So unless you hold on to it for forever.
Mm-hmm. But I can hold on to it and then I can walk out.
Yeah, you could walk outside of the city. Yeah.
It's just I have fireball. I could go into an alleyway and just go. It's not the big fireball. It's the smaller one.
That's the thing. Like, I think you have become so strong, you're not fully aware of what even a small fireball is capable of. Remember, it is incineration. It is a tremendous amount of damage.
It's a fireball.
Even covering any amount of ground, that would kill like anyone nearest you. Minimum damage from a small fireball still would kill just about everyone.
You got to remember, NPCs tend to have
4 hit points.
They're a lot weaker. So
see, I assume that they had like 7 or 8.
You're basically fondling a nuke at this point.
Yeah.
Then,
calm down, Kim. Don't need you getting your big red button prepared.
Wrong Kim. I'm thinking Kardashian.
Different Kim.
Yeah, I was about to say he's not making a comeback.
Deia, what's happening with you?
I would actually head over to go see Kiana.
Well, she's 10 feet away from you.
Yeah, I'd head over and I'd kneel next to her because she's still over Tercion's body, right?
Not for long, but yes.
Yeah, I'd kneel next to her and say, I know things look grim, but it's a story that I think you should know the truth behind before you go blaming the Skellering.
She looks to you, eyes filled with tears streaming down her face, and the sense and sensibilities are lost on a woman of combat. And when she sees you, it's less of like a comrade, and it's more like I don't want to say it's more like a sister, but there are some emotions that tend to run high, particularly when she sees someone that she thinks could represent that ideology that she's suffering from. She tries to mutter something out, but it's just that. She goes to say something, and then she ends up biting her lip.
I'm gonna put my hand on her face and say, "Come now, you must not speak. I know it's sad, and I know he meant a lot to you, from what I was told. It's a lot to take in, but you'll make it through it. From what I've been told about you, you're strong. But this story, I think it should wait till after the burial. And I'll go through it with you since my comrades are less of the kind-hearted, I should note.
Okay. Noted. She releases the body of Tercion, and then she will venture back to her own room inside of the guardhouse. A second in command, she is gifted that much. It is away from a common resting room. It's probably not where she stays regularly, but while on shift, until given any kind of order, this is likely where she would stay. It's not exactly outfitted. It's not like you're going to walk in and find crocheting needles and flowers and stuff like that. It's just a cot, a handful of drawn pictures, not much of anything to write home about. So, who takes the body of Jerrod, of Tercion?
I thought Jerrod was carrying both.
Yeah.
Well, Horum, Pathos has Horum. Or, excuse me, not Pathos. Ulhime has Horum. But if you're going to leave it up to Jerrod to carry, that's totally fine. You can do that as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought that was happening to begin with.
Okay, it sounds just fine. All right. You guys will make your way to the church.
Yeah. Once I get there, I'll. He still had the sword in him, right?
In him?
Yeah, didn't they impale Orm's body with his own sword?
I don't recall as much.
I think he was wrapped with the sword.
I think he was wrapped with it.
I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah,
then if he was, then
I think we joked about spiking him on the sword and just toting him around like a Mr. Jalapeno.
With that, once I get there, I'll make sure to see Jenya, and I will hand off the blade
I
first.
still wish I got to play highlight with his corpse.
And then from there, I'll go, I guess, to the back entrance of St. Cuthbert's into the burial area, the cemetery area, and I'll start digging a spot for him where all the other clergymen and paladins are usually kept at. I guess as a burial spot of honor.
Okay. Trying to find the right music for this. I haven't listened to it in a long time.
Cause we dig. Yeah.
Do you remember?
Digging a hole, diggy hole, diggy hole. But no, as far as Jakob is concerned, being that he is not an overly religious man, he's going to. I'm assuming they probably drew a crowd getting to St. Cuthbert's. He's going to stay by the door, playing guard, and just grumbling about wishing Rufus would get his ass back.
Okay. Well,
because that's also another unresolved issue.
Yeah, that was definitely an unresolved issue at the time. Okay. You made your way to the rear side of the church. You know that there is a small outdoor one door shack that contains some of the belongings that are needed to tend to the grounds. It's not a very big graveyard, mind you, and it's typically for those that are upper echelon of the church. But if you wish to make that call, you can. Probably not a terrible idea to run that by Jenya in case there is a bit more of a hero's graveyard or something like that.
Then I would ask her. I'll roleplay that part out. As I start getting the shovel and stuff prepared, I would probably have left Horum, I guess, inside a preparation area.
Okay.
And then making my way back inside. Jenya, is there a particular place that we can bury a hero like this? Or would burying him with, and then he kind of points outside with the others, would that be appropriate as well?
Do you have him with you? Like, are you holding on to him?
I'm not holding on to him. No, I put him like in like a prep area.
Okay.
I guess where they like you would kind of keep like the dead for like yeah.
And I would imagine that if Jerrod did come along for this part, he would have probably pulled Jenya aside to explain why he believes that Horum had to be returned in such a way. The deed.
That's fine. That's fine. She wants to commit to the prayer and the last rites herself, and she'll ask to see the body.
Of Horum?
Yes.
He'll guide her over to the room where he's being kept and I guess undo the wrapping that he had put on top of like the tar and stuff that they have, the sealer that they have.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's not a great process. It's gonna be sticky, very messy, and Jenya's just gonna like look on and wide stare like what's
I
this?
don't know. But at the very least he deserves
a grave, but then did you know him well?
Unfortunately not. The reputation of the Flurry was all I picked up on.
Did anyone here, assuming that everyone's that's come to the church at this point, did anyone here know him well? I spoke with him a few times, but I didn't know him well.
I had never met him.
I knew him well. He was a friend to me.
Would Horum wish to be in a grave?
I can't say that I ever had the discussion with him of what his wishes were after he departed from our world, but knowing him as I did, I believe that cremation would have been the preferred method.
Oftentimes, those of the church find themselves in a situation where they question their faith. And of the few people that I had ever met, Horum seemed very devout. Can you confirm that?
The most holy man I've ever met, and I've run into Saren Ray herself.
Would he rest if he knew that his allies were hurting? If there were people that needed his alms, his care?
I never knew him to stop when there was still work to be done.
Can you remember what he looks like?
Like I had just seen him.
If you can find someone, if you can venture to have him sketched, I will have a statue made in his honor, so that he may defend, and I will encase what remains of his body inside of the statue. And I see that you've brought back his sword. We'll place this inside of the statue, or at least in the arms, in case it needed to be drawn again.
This is more than I think he could have ever asked for, but certainly less than what he deserves.
I believe it's the least we can do. Certainly.
I agree.
Now, as much as it hurts to say, I've heard about Tercion, and news travels fast in this town. Ulhime, will you be tending to the last rites?
Yes, along with his brother, of course. But there is more to the story that is quite troubling, Jenya.
I'm listening.
Apparently the Blue Duke's army, along with Alec Turcival, were the one who felled him.
The Duke? That's not like him. They came in. They answered under. They answered under Tercion. Why would they do that?
I don't know the whole story. I don't know all the details. It's what I've been given word of.
Well, find out more, and tell me if there's something that I must know. I can listen on the eaves to find out what I may be able to learn, and I will pray for it as well.
Very well. And he looks over to Jerrod, and he kind of points his hand onward, because he would be buried with the higher echelon of people in the back portion, right, of the cemetery.
Yes, there's actually a warrior's graveyard.
Yeah,
and it's sort of like those that are appointed to generals or high in control. This is actually where Surabar would have been buried, since this was his like. It's his pièce de résistance. You know, it's like it's the big mamma jamma. It's the thing that he's known most for, is raising the walls in the bastions of Red Gorge and bringing life to this city.
He'll escort Jerrod to the back with Tercion as he's holding him, and when he gets out there, he'll start digging up the grave, and I guess given the time, I guess
there is a private graveyard
day, right?
that's actually like it's a black iron graveyard. People can see through it, but there is like a vine trellis that runs up these almost like weaved black iron bars that go up and around, and it creates a dome over this graveyard itself. There are various iterations of memorial stones and various things that have been placed up. Some interesting grotesque pieces, some that are like the sword that has penetrated the earth. There are various things that mark and speak of previous people that have made an impact on the society of Cauldron. And if this is where he be buried, potentially Jerrod requests to be buried by his father.
No problem. Yeah. Given that, though, I mean, I would assume that there's going to be, because it's not just going to be like dropping in a hole, but they would have like caskets or something available for that, right?
Yeah,
So
they do have something of that notion.
Yeah.
When you venture to find Jerrod, he seems to have stopped where the Skellerang family plot is. Bear in mind, this is not where Jerrod's mother was buried. This is particularly where Mal was buried. Mal Skellerang. And Jerrod stands before an open grave.
Wait, like it's already been dug?
Yes.
Whose open grave?
Mal Skellerang.
So this wasn't dug up. This was dug out.
No, it's been dug up.
Oh shit!
Someone jacked his father's corpse, dude. That's what's happened. Someone literally dug up his corpse and took it. It is no longer in the grave.
Who in the hell?
Someone jacked your daddy.
That's weird. I 100% would believe that Sunn wouldn't say, "Someone jacked your daddy."
I guess walking up to Jerrod, I would be like, well, Master Skellerang, it seems that all that's left is...
Jerrod turns and he looks at you with this like, wide-eyed, agape stare, and he goes, "What the fuck is this?"
I don't understand what
This is my father's grave.
I understand that, but why is it dug up?
That's what I'm asking.
Divines help us. Give me a moment. I must inform Jenya, and he'll run off to go find her. And when he gets into the church again, he'll be like, he'll look around to see if is she actually still there, or did she?
Yeah, she's still there.
Somewhere? Okay. As he runs in, Jenya, we have a problem. Someone's dug up a Skelerain grave.
Well, would you not have? You were burying
No,
him.
not for Tercion. For their father, the grave has been dug up already. It's been removed. It's been robbed.
Well, that's not possible. I have the only key.
Follow along, please. And then he'll start running over to show her what's going on.
She exits the establishment. It's not very far from the church itself. And when she gave you guys the key to enter into the graveyard, because it is a locked graveyard. When you enter in, she looks down, and she's like, "Was someone here before you?"
No one, not a soul, at least no one that I know of. I haven't seen anyone. We were the only ones who've shown up so far.
Who would rob a grave of a man that's been dead this long?
He'll look over to Jerrod to see if he has any notions.
Jerrod says, "That's what I fucking want to know."
Thanks, thank you.
I'm not sure what's going on here.
I'm sorry. I'm with the only key. No one is capable of getting into this, unless they have an extra key. They can't pass through the bars. I don't know anyone that could get through. This key was made a long time ago, and it's stayed with me since Sarsum's passing.
There's really good locksmiths in town.
We'll have to look into this later. Right now,
Fucking Keegan.
we should put to rest Tercion first before anything else, and then I'll go to Kiana along with Mr. Skelerain here, and we can start an investigation as to what's going on.
Allow me. This is something that I must be involved with. Jerrod, come with me, and we'll figure this out. He just kind of shakes his head. It's like, I got nothing else I can do. Gathers his things, and then he allows you to commit to the last rites of Tercion.
Very well. I guess I'll dig the grave next to his father's, and then that rest of the day
That's fine.
would be done doing the prayer, and I'll actually take an hour in preparation of that and cast Hollow on the grave, so that way it I guess purifies the area, just as a kind of last rite to him.
Okay.
To have sacred ground to rest in.
Every time a figure of notoriety dies in Cauldron, the people, the establishment owners, the people that have homes, the sconces or anything they might have outside, they all light at dusk, and by the time the curfew strikes, everyone is given a small amount of iron shavings from the local apothecary or the alchemist, and they douse the flame of the sconce with these iron shavings as a reminder. And this is a way to kind of pay homage to a fallen hero or someone who meant something to the town. So all the flames will burn blue and green for a brief amount of time, and that cycles throughout the entire town. This happens like clockwork at curfew. So at curfew, all of the flames in the town will burn blue and green. This is something that specifically Jerrod would note. If you've been in town for any length of time, it happened when the coroner died. It happened when Sarsum died. This is just a regular event.
Sunn would probably write that down in his book
Okay.
after noticing it.
It's sort of like a passing of times, a remembrance.
Yeah, tradition.
Yeah.
For that hollow spell,
Kind of their equivalent of a candlelight vigil.
I'll cast Protection of Evil in that hollowed area, 40 feet, and it lasts for a year.
All right.
Nobody's digging this grave up.
Okay.
After that's done, I want to take as much time as possible, be as careful as possible to see what the hell got in here and what dug up that grave. Whether it looks like it's natural, like claw marks that something kind of dug at it, or if someone actually had like shovels and tools to use this with.
It's finally been dug. Like it's almost routine how rectangular this looks like it's been. Someone who knew what they were looking for came here. And in recent past, the soil is still
wet.
damp. There is a degree of amount of like earthworms around it. So within the last few days, Mount Skellering has been removed. You believe?
But no trail that I could visibly see, right?
No.
And just in case, yeah, Jacob would go ahead and, on hearing the news and everything, and after Ulhime's had a chance to bury the other Skellering, he would probably just kind of try and detect magic on the soil of the upturned grave, just to see if this was dug up by magical means as a quick unearthing and
Sure.
then abscond, or if this was just done with a shovel.
The only magic that sort of lingers is Ulhime's magic that he kind of lays about the grave itself. But nothing really reeks of anything additional, if that makes sense.
Okay.
All right. That evening, this is your guys' first time back in a town that you feel sort of comforted in a while. Klaus, you still have long standing at the Tip Tankard. Griffin and crew, Elliot and Jimothy are still happy to have you. They're expecting, with the word of Jerrod being back in town, they're sort of expecting to see from you. It's up to you guys if you go back. I know that you've got some time to kill some things to drop off, but I want to know what a lot of you will be doing after you see that Ulhime and Jakob do their particular things. What's this look like?
I'm going to wait until after the burial of Tersion and Horum are finished. Well, not burial of Horum, but the resting of each of them is finished to go and talk to Kiana.
Okay.
But I do want to talk to Klaus whenever he's heading back to the tavern with nothing else to do.
Okay, so you want to go talk to Kiana, but then you want to talk to Klaus. Sunn.
Yeah.
Sunn, what about you?
Sunn would like to talk to Jerrod, but knowing Jerrod is kind of busy at the moment, he's instead gonna head over, or he's gonna, because if Klaus is gonna head on his way to the tavern, he'll probably follow. Because yet again, he new to town, don't really know where anything is. So if anything, he might just be wandering around writing in his scrapbook, waiting for Jerrod to be less busy with, taking over the new position of guard captain and dealing with the exhumation of his brother.
Sure. All right. Klaus, what about you?
As much as Klaus would like to lend a helping hand to Jerrod and company, I suppose, at this point, it's been a really long day and a really long week and even a really long month at this point. So,
yeah, it has.
A night of rest at the tavern certainly won't kill anyone.
Yeah.
We hope. So I'm just going to head back and try to return to some sense of normalcy for the night, at least.
I'm imagining now, because of what you said about Sniper's character dying, it's like, okay, you guys all go to the Tip Tankard, you all sleep for the night, you wake up and Sniper has a knife through his heart. All right.
Hooray!
Well,
It's
you like that.
Shit, you're right. We couldn't sleep for a night without someone dying.
Jakob, Ulhime,
Yes.
what do the next few hours look like for you guys? And do you stay around your newfound comrades?
For now, I would say yeah. I mean, we're not really doing much else. And the first thing we would have to do after we buried Tercion is report to Kiana that we've actually finished our job.
Okay.
So once I finish saying the last prayer, I'll look over to Jacob.
Well, if Ulhime's talking about going and speaking with Kiana, yeah. Now Jacob's gonna kind of pull him aside. Tonight's not the night for that.
All right.
You know how close she and Tercion were. She needs the night. Let's go ahead
True
and get the tankard. We can report back in the morning.
True enough.
I mean,
True enough.
It's not like we got anything to really offer. We found who we were supposed to be finding. The body wasn't with him. We'll get
Very
our
well.
orders in the morning. And at that point, Jacob will turn to the others, specifically Deia and Sunn. You two want to go ahead and see the best tavern in town? Because I feel like I need a drink.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Excellent. Come on. I'll let you buy me around.
Sunn's just gonna kind of shrug and go, all right. that's fine."
Let me go get payment for our services today from Jenya, and we can get the drinks ourselves, good friend.
But he already agreed.
I understand that,
And,
but
and Jacob's going to put an arm
Sun's-
around Sunn's shoulder and shake him. We're becoming friends. We're
Sunn,
bonding.
Sun's gonna
like
hold
men on
up
the
his
road
hand to the dwarf. It is fine. I have enough gold in my purse to make up for it.
I understand that.
And
but
he's gonna actually smile.
your money is not ours. and I still-
Ulhime, it's rude to turn down gifts like this.
Ulhime,
I
in
understand.
your defense, you see Sunn kind of throw a smile at you, and this is the first smile he's had in the last 3 days of travel and conversation. Even if it feels forced, you see that some of the tension is lifted off of his shoulders. You can tell that Sunn actually wants to do this.
Having his hand up, he's just like, okay,
Eh?
okay.
We can. Hey, he can get the first round. We'll get the second. We'll go ahead and have a good celebration for Tercion Skellery. Celebration of the best guard captain Cauldron's ever seen. How's that?
True enough, friend. True enough.
And he'll turn around to Deia. What say, tits? You in?
Jacob.
Why?
Discretion.
Are you certain I'm not allowed to fire at him?
As much as temptation pushes you to do so, I would still highly recommend that you don't.
If you wake up
As
and
I said
he's
before-
dead, it wasn't me.
I would hope that he's not dead at all, but thank you for your words of caution, my lady. And he'll give her like a bow, and he just looks up at Jacob. He's just like, it's been you've taken the span of a couple of minutes and made it into a long day for me, my friend. Let's go get that drink, please. And then he just kind of starts walking.
Let it never be said you're not the best friend a man's ever had, Ulhime. Your patience is legend.
All right.
Patience or not, you're going to be the end of me, my friend.
feel
One
like
day or the next.
God damn it.
I feel like you could quote that you've made a very short amount of minutes into a whole day. You could
Into
use
a
that
very
to
long day.
you could use that to
made several
describe
minutes into a very long day.
you could use that to describe our D&D game. Just replace minutes with hours. Just a very, very long time.
And I'm assuming Klaus is coming along too.
Yeah.
Klaus is fucking leading the charge.
Look at the old man go! Holy shit, look at him go. No, seriously. This guy's
As you enter the establishment,
power walking.
the tankard welcomes you. Klaus, as you enter in, there is an exceptional amount of people that are staring at you with it's the man. It's the fucking legend. He's in the house. And Griffin, with Rag, steps up and he's like, excuse me, sirs. I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting you. Forgive me. This. Welcome to the Tip Tankards.
Griffin, there's no need for all
You
of
know
this.
my name? How do you know my name? Oh,
Klaus is
no,
going
you're.
to-
I understand. You know everything. Yeah. Well,
As he's stuttering and stammering, Klaus is going to step up close to the bar and kind of lean over towards him and signal him to come a little closer.
he leans in. You see him.
Griffin, what I'm about to say may shock you, even disappoint you, but
Please don't turn me into a newt. I don't do anything wrong. I promise. I've been a good father and a great husband. And
I am not Surabar. I am simply Klaus inhabiting another body.
The cut of the music was perfect.
Music cue.
That was perfect.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not. No. Klaus. Seriously.
As I live and
What?
breathe.
No. How'd you do it? How'd you step into the bodies of this? You. Trixie does it. Yes. Yes, I don't know how you do it, but you've done it. You've done it again. You've done it again. How'd you do it? What? Do you have like fires and smokes and things coming out your ass? I've heard crazy things about Surabar Spellmason. You know he's the most adept. My sons tell me he's the most adept wizard that's ever existed.
I'm familiar with the tales at this point. Many have been related to me in my new form.
Oh, it just hit me. You, Klaus, you gotta be careful. People are expecting you to be the man.
I know. For the time being, that expectation may be useful, but there may come a time when I need to reveal myself. Hopefully there will not be such a time, but I do ask you to keep this between us for the moment.
Yes. No, I understand, and it's fine, and all. Can I tell my sons, or is that something I should keep from them too?
I trust them as much as you.
Right. Well, to maintain it's like illusion. I'll bring you. I'll refer to you as Surabar. Is that fine? Can we do that?
That shall be fine. Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, is there something you have anything that you need?
Just the use of your services once more.
Right.
I believe we've all had a very long day, week. You know how it goes.
Well, I mean, Leslie, she in the back, and she always said if Surabar Spellmason would come here, she was going to be sending her best, tried and true, to try to, yank your pickle. So I'm just giving you the heads up. She's bound to happen.
I appreciate the warning. I'll handle it.
All right. Well, I suppose take a seat, grab a table, and again, watch out for that Leslie. She's a wild one. She got them crazy girls.
I never been able to forget her since the day that I met her.
All right. Well,
When you're still in your 16-year-old body.
I suppose. Right. Well, we'll just bring it around then. Is that fine? Can we do that for you?
Sounds
Never gonna
Right,
hear me
right.
complain about that.
You're back again. You ain't paid for nothing since you've been here.
He
It's always a dwarf that's taking care of you. Now, I ain't one to discriminate, and I ain't one to prejudice, but you ain't payings for nothings.
Griffin, you wound me.
We're not friends, and we're not going to pretend like it. That one right there, old Mr. Ulhime's, he's the better of the two of you. I don't know why I continue to run around with you. You constantly order foods, and you ain't paying for nothings.
He's a good man, Griffin.
Good men pay the debts.
In time, he takes his progress day by day.
Oh, in time. Ain't do shit, what for? As long as it gets paid, I don't frankly care.
Very, very well, Master Griffin, and we are sorry to trouble your establishment once again, but you do provide the best service.
Oh, no, I know. Because I love my job. And I serve this town. And we got the best women's in the back. Now, I knows this. Not from experience, but I knows this. And everyone else does as well. So, continue behaving, pay your bills. Maybe you can learn a lesson from your half-sized friend here. And don't give Mr. Spellmason any troubles, or I'll throw you out right by your horns.
Fair enough.
Well,
All right.
we'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Can we get?
That having been said, my tab's still good, right?
Your tabs ain't been ever existed here ever. It's been paying it. You ain't got no tab. Yeah, hell, you're almost out of warm welcomes.
You know,
frankly,
Griffin.
Don't like
Griffin.
you much. I don't, and it's not because of your skin color, lad.
You
It's
know, your
because you're a
eyes.
right dick. Yes, you are.
Your eyes flash like fire when you're angry. You know that, right?
Your flattery won't work on me. So don't speak Polandums like you my son or my wife. Ain't happening.
All right. I'll start. I'll go ahead and start paying for my drinks first. Right after that first round.
Stupid.
He puts his hand up. He's all thank you, Griffin. As always. He just looks up. He just looks up at Jacob.
All right.
What
I'll
is
stop
with you?
getting- You see, this is why I don't like hanging around town.
No, the problem is, good Jacob, is that when I ask you to exercise discretion, you do the complete opposite, and you draw the negative attention to yourself. The fire was only the first part. The first day we got here, you started running your mouth at every woman that walked into the establishment.
Oh, I stopped after Leslie went ahead and corrected me.
You didn't pay, is what happened. He's right about the tab. My eye and the eye of hell are on you. And it so help me, you step out of line again, and I'm gonna.
Ulhime, come on!
No. We will have our drinks. We will have our drinks. If we get
Okay,
any.
okay.
you are
Starting
paying-
tomorrow, I'll turn over a new leaf.
No,
I'll start paying
tonight.
my drinks
Tonight.
before.
Do it to start a new leaf tonight.
But we're
Because I don't-
celebrating.
We have 6 hours until the new day starts, and I believe
He'll
in
clap
the next
his hands
15
on
minutes,
the door shoulders.
You can.
It's for Tercion.
No, stop.
Would
In
you
the next
would you
15
deny
minutes, you can
would you deny the man the
you can
send off
take
that he deserves?
paradise, my friend, and make it into proverbial hell for us. Watch your words. Sit down. Enjoy your drink. Don't talk to anyone. Just wave. Smile. You have people that are already accepted you into a group. Talk to them. Don't say anything stupid.
Well, this was
Yes, my sire. As you
Stop
wish,
calling me
my
son.
sire.
while this was all going on.
Just
And he'll
Go
flop
to-
down next to Sunn and just kind of like pop an arm over his shoulder. You see what I deal with?
Sun's just gonna turn his head and just look at him, then look at the dwarf. Yeah, I'm with the dwarf.
You see Ulhime take off his gauntlets and he places them on the table. I'm gonna go wash my hands. You keep your hands in your pockets if you're gonna start touching people. I just told you. What did I say? Not 15 minutes.
If you're gonna start touching people, keep your hands in your pockets, not theirs.
And he walks off to one of the
That's
the cleaning areas
ridiculous.
to like wash his hands and stuff.
Hey! Wipe that face off your head when you're looking at me like that. All right.
Yeah, his tail's just gonna kind of reach up and start itching behind his ear. You know, just I don't know what it is. Ever since you guys came along, he's just been his temper's getting shorter and shorter.
I'm gonna walk up to Klaus and I'm gonna say, I know you're enjoying this, but I need a word with you for a minute.
As you
know
say
what,
that,
I-
the first round of drinks will arrive at the table. They are plentiful. They are quite full. As remember, you are still under the umbrage and care of Griffin, which has been graced by the love of Cicada. Cicada was one of the few good things that Red has done with his life. And,
Very few things.
and this is where his patronage actually comes into a positive benefit for you.
Actually, has somebody told Griffin
No.
that Cicada's?
I was
Yeah.
waiting for
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
to mention it.
It's been told. He was told.
Oh, okay.
He was told. Pretty positive Klaus told him.
As
We haven't talked to him since we got back, because
it's been a while though since you guys have been back in the cauldron.
the
Yeah,
thing
Cicada
was,
died
I
on
died after
after
the Citadel. So we haven't told him that I died, because the last time we talked was before we set off to go
Oh,
do the
see,
Citadel.
okay, so it's gonna be one of these.
Wait.
things-
We could go ahead and argue that.
But he didn't
would've
see you
heard.
come back either, so it's still the same thing.
Yeah, he doesn't see us, or he doesn't see Cicada in the group. So
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like he died before, like he died as they left, and then he came back. They weren't back in Cauldron when he came back.
No, yeah, yes, I was.
Briefly.
I was in
Briefly.
Cauldron, and I gave the rest of my money to him once again and said, "Hey, I'm going on a dangerous
Oh,
mission
okay.
again. There are chances that I probably won't come back, so I want you to know that this is for you if I die." And he had, I gave him 3,000 gold or some shit like that.
Mourn once, shame on you. Mourn twice, shame on him. He's not gonna do it again.
As the beer comes out, it's like dwarven instincts kick in. You see like Ulhime kind of like trotting back into the and he'll jump up onto the stool.
He's
next
moving
to,
like the
next to
fucking
Jakob.
bantha from Star Wars. The arms are just going.
Leslie, send out your shortest whore.
And he'll grab the pint as a whole and just like down it like as fast as he can.
Sure, sounds good.
Yeah, and Jacob will just kind of sit back, sipping on his wine, because, well, he knows it's the only one he's likely going to get tonight.
Right.
He stretches it, baby sips, baby sips. Besides, you know, Ulhime's a lot more fun to watch.
Lad, what did I say before? When we exercise discretion, never in drinking. And he like hits him on the back. Come on, get an ale.
I'm fine with my wine.
Wine. That's all you do, Jacob, is
When
wine.
you drink, you don't show quite as much restraint. And he'll kind of half turn, cracking vertebrae back in place.
You need to enjoy yourself more. Come on.
You just said I could only have one drink.
I said never exercise discretion when drinking. That's a dwarven rule.
Yes, but after this one, I'm gonna be stuck on water.
What? Ugh. What good has water ever done a man? Look at you, and he kind of like starts ruffling your shirt. No hair on your chest, that's your problem. Come on. Grab a pint, enjoy yourself.
If you're paying.
I leave
at
that
which-
to you.
All right, so first round of drinks. I need fortitude saves from everyone.
Jesus.
As I get my drink, I'm gonna hand it to the tiefling and say, the more you have in your mouth, the less chances you have to talk. So have mine.
28.
Jesus. 17.
20.
Has the amaranth worn off at this point? I would assume so.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Oh yeah, it's been over a week.
Take a look.
So no more Master Roshi.
Yeah. At least not until I cast Rage again.
Yeah. So do I not have anything from Deia or from? Wait, last roll. There's Klaus.
I'm handing my drink over to Jakob, and I'm gonna say, the less time you have to talk, the better. And yeah, I'm not gonna be drinking tonight. I'm not feeling.
Should I go ahead and take 2 then?
No, it'll just make your your DC a bit higher.
17.
Okay. So you're about 2 at this point.
Jacob's feeling good.
Give me an even or odd in your favor.
We'll go odd.
Okay.
I'm always odd.
Even it is. Even it is. Lucky I used that there. So, as the tower strikes curfew hour, this is for basically women and children. They have to get in. If you're found outside, you will be accompanied either by guard or you will be tossed in jail. Which, at this point, you know that Jakob is not without that. And you guys feel fairly safe considering Ulhime is, quote-unquote, declarative guard. He can offer that much at least. But with that, what was said, like I had spoken earlier, Griffin will hand a small pouch to Elliot, Elliot the older son. Elliot will move off to the fire, and he'll empty this pouch into his hand and lop it into the flame itself. And you'll see that Griffin will sort of douse the sconces behind the bar the same way. So that yellow firelight that breathes life into the room turns this almost pallid teal. It starts to kind of like overwhelm this room with like almost very much like an underwater feel. The warmth is still there, obviously, but the decor seems to change.
Seeing the kind of like seeing the flame turn color, I'll grab another mug and I'll put my mug up. Tercion.
You're here.
When you say that, you'll see many of the other men in town. Aye, here. And they'll all drink as well. And you see, like, basically everyone will have ale up in preparation as this teal firelight seems to decorate the establishment around you. But as this happens, the sensation seems to kind of grow slightly awry. Something feels off. Deia, you're the first person to notice this. This isn't just a matter of perception. This is a sense. This is something odd. You begin to get that tingly sensation. Paladins typically get them first and foremost. It's that airy sense that there's something evil that lurks about, something that sort of takes about the area. Men seem to be knocking back their ale, and everyone's just kind of like waterfalling it at this point. You know, they're drinking it down without hesitation, and they're minding their business when the suspense begins to pale. It grows intensely so on the surroundings, and most of everyone else can't seem to notice this. The music continues to kind of continue on. It rose forward. And as this is happening, I'll need perceptions, please, from everyone.
32.
18.
17.
18.
Okay.
22.
Sunn, you're the first person to note this. As you put back your drink, you're not trying to get drunk, you're just trying to enjoy yourself, all things considered. You look around the establishment and you can see that some of the men finish their drinks early. They've placed their heads down on the table. And when this firelight begins to teal over and shallow out the room, casting these odd... it almost casts this like odd amount of illusions around them. Like there's many more people here than actually should be. And as you're watching, some of these men, there's a brief tremor in their cowl, the things that are covering their faces. And you can see what looks to be the tips of their cowl seem to rise above. And it's like creating this distended point forward. Nobody else seems to notice this when you look over at some of these men that have been shaken like they've had a tremor, and their hands seem to visibly like slip inside of their robes and then back out again, and they're these twisted, gnarled masses.
Immediately that horn. No,
Looking at the hands, the fingers are probably about twice as long as a man's fingers. There's only 4 of them, and they're coated and dipped heavily in some red matter that seems to stain them.
Yeah, I would immediately turn to Deia and point it out to her, and then I would probably turn to. I guess the next person who would be saying next to me would be
Jakob.
Yeah, it would be Jakob. So I'm not trying to do this like a, hey everyone, look at that, but like a.
Just a casual nudge in the elk.
Yeah, like looking at Deia, look over there, and then looking at Jakob and like elbowing him and saying, look over there.
What's up?
When you get nudged, you can see one of these figures seem to like slowly raise its head from its lying down point where you thought previously it was a man. You see this almost stone-like skin flinch up around a hound-like flattened nose with white teeth jutting out forward, each of them jagged very similarly to yours, but their eyes are white solidly through. It lacks coloration. Their bodies begin to burst the gowns, and when you begin looking around, they begin standing. Not in honor and call of more drink, but in something very different. Each of them turn to your table, and as the gowns begin to taper and fall off of them, you hear many hushed gasp calls. And this is what you guys see.
Wayne Brady, everybody.
Definitely not the case. You see these.
Ugh.
Soy.
At that point, not wanting to see anyone get hurt, Sunn's gonna immediately erupt and say, everyone back away from those creatures, telling the patrons to try to get them. I'm trying not to scream because it's midnight.
Yeah, and Jacob's just going to kind of reach over, knuckle on Ulhime's chest piece and start getting up himself, but instead of trying to gasp or back away, he's just like before, the jovial spirit just fades right off, and he tips his sword into a very business-like manner, resting a hand on the hilt.
It would kind of fit the same fashion, kind of seeing as what they're again, I guess, being they're alarming me too. Ulhime, like with not real any caution or anything, just slowly starts putting on his gauntlets. Looks over at Griffin, kind of just gives him a nod and puts on his helmet, and just kind of hops down and goes, Jakob, I have your back. So does Helm.
You take the left, I'll take the right.
Will do, friend.
Let's get initiatives.
Thing looks straight up a fucking Geiger film.
Boy, oh boy, I wish I'd have.
Why didn't that... Do I not have numlock on? Why are you like this?
Okay. Deia, what'd you get?
25.
Holy shit. Sunn.
13.
Klaus.
22.
Jakob.
14.
Ulhime.
10.
All right. And as you each stand and mount, grabbing your weapons, prepared for combat, one of the figures turn with their marled, knotted fingers, and as a patron attempts to draw his short sword to fight back, because remember, this is a guard's bar. He draws his short sword, and the fingers flinch right through, splitting him at the shoulder across. And the man falls, blood cascading over your table, hitting... 1, 2, 3... Hitting Jacob. Jacob gets covered in the guard's blood. It just rains down upon him.
No color change.
Looks exactly the
Racist.
same, but now his hair's wet.
Racist fucks.
You're one to fucking talk.
And with that, I'm calling the session.
No!
Bastard!
So do we level up before this fight or after this fight?
After the session,
It'll
so
be-
we
yeah.
leveled up.
You guys will be functioning as if you've leveled. You've had 6 days of travel, 6 days of rest.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I'll be fine with health by then.
Damn.
How would you say my condition is as far as having gone splat and then I'm not splat anymore?
You know, you still look like a bruised fruit.
But a little bit better.
Yeah, you still look like a bruised fruit. I mean, you're, for all
Wait!
intents and purposes.
Well,
We
it looked
didn't
like-
start the bar fight.
Look, you went from 90%
Fight.
To like 84%. Like it's not a very good.
You don't
I
look like you're
didn't start
eternally
the
bleeding
fire.
on some
Oh,
of your
shit,
body.
I did.
So this is going to be an odd fight, and I'll set up tiles for this next time. The problem isn't here that you guys are going to get into a fight. The problem is that you're surrounded by locals,
A bar.
pedestrians.
Yeah.
No, like who cares about wood? You can buy a new. You could buy probably most of the town with the amount of gold you guys have.
It's
But
true.
the fact that there are people that you guys do care about, Griffin and his sons. There are guards that are here that they care about this town. You can't just start unleashing terror like before.
Yeah, I can't throw bombs in here.
No, you can't.
That was the first thing I
I
thought
didn't play
of
my
when I said
alchemist
stand
then. I
up.
would have fucking
Thrown a bunch of
plague
bombs.
contagion bomb, breath weapon all over the place.
Yeah.
What do you mean everyone's sick?
What do you mean everyone has the bubonic plague?
Well,
bombs?
you said you like breathe fucking magical
Yeah.
bullshit into
Oh
potions.
yeah,
No,
the
it's-
alchemist that I
breathe
made. Yeah,
Breathe it down their
it's,
throats. It's all good.
it's a breath weapon.
It's
a breath weapon.
it's a
bomb.
breath weapon plague. It's great.
Yeah.
What if you
But yeah,
sneeze?
that was pretty good.
I must
Good.
admit, I had fun with tonight's session.
Oh,
How do you guys like Jacob? I gotta ask.
I like
I-
Jacob well enough, and I like Ulhime well enough, but the interaction between you two is like
the best?
top notch.
Yeah, I love that.
enjoy hating another one of Sniper's characters. I don't know how to express that. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel having no one to like make fun of in the party.
And then you're like, oh,
but
wait,
now he's
Sniper's
here,
still
so
here.
it's all good.
Mhm.
I'm still gonna
Yeah.
threaten to shoot at least once a session.
This is fine. So, we didn't get to use any of our inspiration or anything like that. So we're just gonna go ahead and make this fairly quick. Who had tonight's clutch roll?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who was
I rolled a 20 on my inspiration.
who was tonight's best
I
role
mean-
player?
Role player? Fuck, it's between Ronald and
yeah.
Sunn. I don't know which of the two. Give it to both of them. Fuck it.
If the three of you,
don't
if the three of you say both of them,
Yeah.
okay, then this is gonna come down to Sniper and
Sure.
Ronald. What do you guys think?
Ooh.
I'd say it's
Hate each other.
Sniper.
You'd say it's Sniper.
Sniper had it.
And I hate to say it, I was gonna say Ronald because the fact that he can straight man so hard
Okay,
against me.
all right. So then you two bring it down to a paper rock scissors. Paper rock scissors shoot.
You want to do a dice roll? And
No,
each
no way,
one?
dude. No way. Like I roll enough dice. Paper, rock,
There
scissors,
is no
shoot.
way we're gonna try and Rochambeau
Okay.
on stream. No,
Let's do this.
even or odd.
Oh, come on, Mick.
Okay. Ready?
Paper, rock, scissors, shoot. What the fuck?
Oh, hold on, sorry. I thought you wanted to do a 3 count.
I'll do
I thought you
it.
wanted to do a 3 count. Yeah.
Rock,
Whatever,
paper,
it's
scissors,
fine.
shoot. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. There we go. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So then Pathos, aka your boy, look at him. He's gonna take it home. Good fucking god. Don't
My
give
little half man brother.
don't give Red anything. Just don't give him anything, guys. If you're watching at home, first and foremost, cap a check. Secondly, let's find out what you guys think. Who do you believe deserves the inspiration tonight?
Oh my god, that was amazing.
We already gave Fred something, and it's a hernia.
Oh yeah, when does our boon kick in?
I'm deciding that.
Okay.
A lot sooner than you might think.
Oh no, that's never good. What did it end up being? Was it Banner Boon?
Yeah, we ended up getting a boon.
Yeah, it's boon.
Okay.
It's okay. We'll turn it into a vein.
Exactly.
Eventually.
We always try way too hard to do that.
Damn, out of 70 people, we got 6 Kappas. That can't be accurate. Thank you, bot.
We got 6 Kappas and a Pathos.
We got some lurking-ass people out there. I see how it is.
I like how you put in the Kappa command, but failed to capitalize your K, so it didn't actually work.
Oh,
No, better yet, Jerrod
I wanted to let the
should
bot
get
do
the
it for me.
inspiration. Not Jacob,
That's not how that works.
Jerrod.
No, I mean the bot did it for me. I went through.
Do you understand how a
Sniper.
Kappa check works, though?
No, I do, but I'm checking as the bot instead.
You could have checked both at the same time, is what I'm saying.
I don't think he could have, actually. Because
No, you can.
It reads the command.
I'm pretty sure you can still do it, but I'm not 100%.
Actually, Jahan may have a good point there. The old
Yeah.
man in the
Oh,
crowd that
nice.
was like, "Oh, piss off!"
Oh,
That wasn't a man,
Yeah,
that
that
was a
was-
woman.
Oh, damn, she was just masculine as
What
fuck.
fucking character was that? Because it reminded me so much of like a movie I've watched. I don't
Monty
even know how many
Python?
times. Yeah,
Any
somebody,
Monty Python?
somebody from it's a character from a Monty Python story. I just can't place which one. There's like a very
Which
specific
character?
The one that Bub was doing in the crowd when he was talking to Jacob.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
weirdest thing.
the-
It's sort of like
devil. That
sort
one.
of like I'm
Red
a
Pan and
man.
Wizard, thank you guys for the respects to our characters.
I
It
can't
looks like
place
there's actually multiple votes here for MVP. So, I can't declare here. It looks like it's fairly even across the board. You guys did well. It was a roleplay session. What'd you guys think?
I liked it.
You
That
liked
was
the
a
session?
lot of fun.
Good.
I liked it a lot. It's really nice. I'm really glad that Ron and I had the opportunity to go ahead and chit-chat with each other and actually pull these two in as a pair, because I've got a feeling that we're gonna have a lot of real fun role play off each other,
Good. So then maybe
and
next
hopefully
week,
we can get the others in.
maybe next week we can actually start pulling in. We can pull in our old numbers here. We can get up to like 100 or so viewers again, and we can have as many people being as active in chat. That would mean a lot to me. But I did want to say, so for those of you that are watching at home right now, there's a couple of people that are in chat right now that are currently in competition for next month's emote. We are halfway through the month, and as it stands, Lucicine, Boredom Arisen, and Sophirian are all tied. It's a 3-way tie. Whoever has the most donations in either bits or tips will get to decide next month's emote, and they're all tied at 100. 100
Oh,
bucks.
sweet. So it's who again?
Boredom Arisen, Lucicine, and Sophirian.
Well, I'm pulling for Sophie. Soph myself.
I'm not really sure what Soph would even make. I think he wanted like the finger guns. That's what I think he wanted. Ulhime wears the pants. Yeah, it's certainly an odd dynamic between the two.
I still see Big Brother, Little Brother.
I see. Well, you guys know what I see.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, I do.
I swear to God, it's taking everything in me not to go ahead and start this next session off with just Jacob saying "Snoochie Boochies" and
Jesus Christ.
going into battle. Just having that be his war cry as my payback.
He won bag of dicks.
Oh, that's right. He wanted the bag of dicks. That's right. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to clear that with Twitch. We'll see what we can do, though. This is going to be good. So, that's going to be it tonight. Let's see. I don't know.
I'm awake.
We hit Jerrod
Oh my god.
the previous night. I think I'm going to go ahead and hit us with a raid on Benny. That's not going to be a thing. Yeah, no, I've got a feeling, Ormus, that it wouldn't be cleared.
No, Ormus, no. We kid, we joke.
Little dog, a little joke. So, tonight, it looks like we're going to go ahead and run over and support Benny Fitz. Benny is doing some Dauntless this evening, and I'd like to get Benny into a game in the future. So if you guys would be so kind and so stellar as to copy that Bubber Love Bomb, copy some Bubber Love Bomb, that would mean a lot to me. And let's make sure that you guys have got it. Keeps me sane at work. Yep, tomorrow we'll be doing some carrying crown, not carrying corn, you maniacs. We're going to go ahead and raid on over to our friend, Benny Fitz. And if you've never followed Benny, make sure you do it. Make sure you do it because, well, he's funny. He's a funny guy. He's a little hairy. But I think you'll enjoy him all the way around. Thank you guys for another awesome night. I love your faces. Do what you do. Stay safe. Stay nerdy. And we'll catch you cats tomorrow for Carrying Crown. Who's all going to be here, by the way? For Carrion.
Should be around.
I'll be around to watch, if that's what you're wondering about. I mean, I don't play in it.
Good. Very good. That's what I wanted to know. Good. All right. Well, see you guys then. And stream